Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. Gonna actually get to start on layouts. I had only done one and then I decided I better get all my base pages finished up. And so I did. I got all my base pages finished up. And then now we get to start on the layouts. So this was one of the girly ones that I did. I think when I actually did it, I think I had it, I don't remember for sure. I may have had it like this when I did it. But when I found pictures and everything, I turned it and we're doing it like this. Because I found some pictures. I think I'm going to do these pictures twice, but the layouts will be different. This is my daughter-in-law, and I when we went to a church retreat. And oh, there's my puppies. Oh my goodness, Mama got after one. I have two pictures, but this one just doesn't work down there. And so I found this. This is a partner swap that Marilyn Goff and I were partners in. And oh, it's so cute. And so I'm going to use this. I had to actually cut it down just a little, but I'm even going to use the little strip that I cut off of it. So instead of a picture, I'm going to put that down here. And then I think I'm going to put this other picture up here. But even though I'm going to cover part of that up there, when I got to looking at this, I thought, why didn't I do that with the white like I did everything else and do white there? So I'm going to do that before we go any further. I am going to do that. So I'm not even going to put these pictures on here yet because that just bugged me. Oh, why didn't I do that? It's not like me to just leave something like that. So anyway, we're going to do this. So first thing, and this is glued down, so I can't slide it under there. So I'm just gonna, oops, I may be clogged. So I'm just going to put a little bead of glue. Well, I'm gonna try to. I may not. Seems like that's been my MO lately. Let's get that really down in there good. If not, I've got another one we can use. I'm kind of determined here. There we go. Don't need much, but just a little bead. So I can put this little bitty strip of white along there. I know I had room to stick that under there. There we go. And I'll just trim that off, but I just think that finishes it off so much better than leaving those spots without that. And then this one, I don't even know how I want to do it for sure. Maybe just a bunch of tape on it. Let's see. I think I cut it the right size. And this was taped, so I could pull it up. Just a matter of getting it in the right spot. That looks pretty good. But doesn't that look better than those that just weren't outlined in the white like everything else was? I don't know why I didn't see that and do that, but I didn't. So anyway, now it's done and I'm much happier with it. Now we can get to our pictures. I did my journaling. This was the journaling card. In that partner swap over on Ginger's Corner, we do a partner swap once a month that you can participate in if you want to. And you do a journaling box, a title, and then 2 embellishments to go with it. And oh, it was so cute. Look, this was the journaling box with those typewriters. Then there was one of the typewriters. see if I, there's one of the, that's another one, not alike, but so cute together. And then there was one more. This one was the title. It's the little things. And isn't that cute? Well, that doesn't go on there. Isn't that precious? And I wanted to use this one, but then I got to thinking, because I made this, like, I don't know when it was on YouTube, but I made it probably 3 weeks ago. And this week I got my Forever Faith swap. And just as I was starting to pull things to put this together earlier this evening so I could video it, I thought, oh, this is a church ladies retreat. I ought to see if there was anything in my faith stuff that I would want to put on there. And sure enough, this week in my Forever Faith swap, look what I got. Is that not perfect? Absolutely perfect. And, oh, Ginger made this one. So anyway, I thought, oh my gosh, that's perfect. So instead of using this, which was really cute with all of this, I'm actually going to use that for my title. All right, so let's get this going. I know this is going here, not a problem. We can put that down. And like I said, these are Marilyn Goff, and she always does such cute stuff. So let's get that down. Okay. And then I'm going to use this picture here. So get it down. This was like way back before COVID. We haven't had a ladies' retreat since COVID, as a matter of fact. My girls don't usually get to go to things like that because of all their kiddos, but they managed to both get there for at least one of the night things, an afternoon and night. I think the guys kept the boys and they got to come. We always have so much fun when we do those things. So anyway, there's that. And then I am going to do this picture of me being goofy. And I'm going to back it in this same that I've done all 3 of these in. So let's do that. I'm going to double back it because I'm going to do it also in the white. I need to get to the twist because this isn't going to take too long, I don't think. So the twist tonight, it comes from James chapter 1 verse 12. And I don't know. I lose track of whether I've done things before. I keep a card on all of the twists, but I used to have it in a table on my computer, and so I could go back and check. But I just haven't had time to. I've got so many now that I haven't had time to go back and do that and fill it in to know which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. But you know what? I figure if I can't remember, you probably don't either, and it doesn't hurt us to repeat anyway. So this one is James chapter 1 verse 12. And it says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Well, so that kind of starts out with, we all have trials. I mean, that's just, everybody has trials, no matter what we do, how good life is, we're all going to face trials at some point in our lives. It's just that simple. And so the question here is how do we handle those trials when they do come along? Oops, that's not the glue I want. So how do we handle those trials when they do come along? Do we get angry with God? Do we blame God? And do we question and say, why did this have to happen to me? Why didn't this happen to so-and-so who's just bad to the core? And I try to be good and I try to do things, why did this happen to me? Or do we say, God, this is tough and it's hurting me really bad, but I trust you and I know that you have purpose in it. And I know that regardless of the outcome of this trial, that you're the one that's in control. And can we honestly pray, your will be done? You know, I think that's the question here. I think that's what James is kind of hinting at here or talking about here. And so, do we put our trust and our faith in God? And James tells us if we do, and if we stay faithful and we don't blame God and we don't get angry with God and we just trust those trials to Him, there's that promise that accompanies it, and that is that we'll receive that crown of life. And to me, that crown of life is eternal life with God in heaven. And that's reward I definitely want. So just kind of keep that scripture in the back of your mind, because like I said, everybody has trials. We all do. Different types of trials through different times in our lives. It may be illnesses, it may be job loss, it may be, relationships, it can be anything that is a trial in our life, because Satan absolutely loves to put trials in our lives and then see how we react. How do we react to God when we have trials in our lives? I want the reward. Okay, so let's get that off there. And I think I just am going to do something about like that for that picture. Let's see, I think we need to glue this. I left these things pretty loose just in case, because I had no idea, what I was going to want to do with them. So I need to do a little gluing down here since I'm not tucking. Right there. Get a little glue on this. And I get us turned back around here. And get this tucked in there. About like that, I think. Okay. Now I've got all kinds of embellishments. I know I want this title like right there, probably covering that line. Or I can bring it down and leave that line. Nope, I think I like it on that line. I think I like it like that. And then, like I said, originally I was going to use this for my title and I was going to put it right there. And then when I found this, I decided to use it as the title. So that's going to go right up there. And then I do want to use some of these. There's that and that. I like that. Now, I had some little tags that were, I've got white and off-white going, but I'm kind of okay with that. Let me show you. This is that little section that I cut off of the bottom of this, but I didn't want to waste it. And so I made 2 little tags. And I'll probably try to, maybe, let's see. I don't know what I'm going to have room for up here. I may try to layer a tag up there. I've got these. Let's see what we can do with these. I've got this little round one. Oh, maybe we need to, let's get that up there. Maybe we need to put this out here. It might show better against that. And then, or we might even put something like that. And then I've got this little one We could layer those. Or let's try this one over there. And to the round one on the other side. Let's try kind of layering these up. Maybe layering those up like that. And then tucking this one over here. And I've got some little of this color brads I'm going to put in those. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And then down here, I've got this typewriter. I've got these tags. I was using both of these little tags down here, but I kind of think I need one up there. So let's see what we got. Something like that, maybe. I could even layer one of these flowers. So I think I'm going to use some of these in like behind, maybe even over there instead of that tag. Let's see what these look like. These are old, like puffy, but they're perfect color for this. Let's see if we can get a couple of these on this tag. And then maybe one under it. Not going to press these down. They're pretty sticky. Let's look at let's look at this one under there. I don't like those two the same color. So let's see what this one looks like under there. Maybe. We'll just audition all of them. Oh, I think that may be the winner. Okay. All right. So let's hold on to that. Let's get this one settled, and then we'll go from there. Why is that? Oh, it doesn't have its little hole. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the brads in this. I wonder if I can do that because I've got so many layers of paper there. I wonder if I can get these flat enough that I don't have to go through all of those layers of paper, because I've got tons of layers of paper there. That's my goal anyway. Let's push that down on the desk there and see if that gets flat enough. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So let's get our brads in all of these. I just really didn't have any twine or ribbon or anything that just really worked for this color. Actually, I think I did have some ribbon that I forgot about. I didn't look in that little ribbon thing, and that little ribbon probably would have been good in these, but I didn't look at it, so these will be just fine. Okay. That's kind of my thought, something about like that. And then put our little typewriter over it and scoot them down under it. So let's maybe glue those together just a touch, just to hold them together. That way if I need to take it off, I can. But I want that over that corner where everything's coming together. And then that, I think this is going to go on foam. This is going to be a little thick because it's got buttons and now it's got foam, but I like it. And then those little tags can go right in under there, like that. Then we can put our flower right up here. Maybe put some more little flowers of those smaller ones. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, just like that. So let's move these down just a tiny bit and get them glued down. Want them right there. And I could put a little foam under that end of them. Then that, okay. I've kind of got every shade of pink going here, but I don't really care. I like it. I've got mauves and pinks going. Okay. There is kind of what I'm thinking. And you know what? I do think I'm going to put a little foam under that. Just to hold those up, and then I'll put the flower in under there. Let's get our flower in under there where we want it. Thinking kind of there, and then I'm probably going to do another flower or two right up there. Where'd they go? And audition, audition, audition. Let's see, we need one that's different. Let's see if this is too dark. What do I like? Let's try this one. Okay, I think that's what I'm going with. All right, now let's see about our title and this, and then I think we're done. I do need to ink these. I had already inked that one, but I want to ink these. And I'm inking them in black soot, but I'm doing it very lightly because this had the black around it, and this was kind of brown. when Meryl, she had inked it in the browns, which only made sense. But I went back with a little of the black soot on it also, just to kind of tie it with that black that's around the title. I'm not even adding anything to my brush. I'm just doing it with what's on it. So I don't want it really dark. So we're gonna have, this will be on foam. I love this. I was so excited when I got this, and it had all the kind of pinks and everything, and I thought, oh, what am I going to use that for? It is so cute, but what am I going to use it for? And then when this came up, I was like, aha. When I was going through my binder, it was like perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's get a brad in that one. I get to go tomorrow. I've got my daughter-in-law's going to come over and puppy sit, and we're remodeling, doing a remodel in our sanctuary at church, and I'm on that committee, and we are, another lady and I are going to pick out some wood to frame our baptistry. I think it's going to be so pretty. We have a big open baptistry thing, and it's never been framed, and I just think it's going to be so pretty when we frame it. Kind of make it a point of kind of a focal point, because it's right up in the center of the sanctuary. And then the painting that's in our baptistry, a lady that was a member of our church, I mean, their family had been members of that church forever. Our church is like 160 years old, almost. And anyway, she painted it when she was like 80 years old, and it's beautiful. But that was her thing, to paint baptistries. She was a beautiful, just amazing artist. But that's about all she did. She did some bluebonnet paintings, but mostly what she did was baptistries. And she would never charge. She would not charge for doing them. And she has painted baptistries all over this part of the country, but would never charge for them. Sweet, sweet lady. Really wanted to not do those two different directions because it's going to show. Maybe not. Okay, let's see how we can get these. Something about like that, I think. And then we'll glue them. Just a dot. Need that one to come down some. And whoops, it's sticky. I'm sticking. There. Let's get that. So I want that slanted. I need to cut this one just a little because that corner's sticking out. Don't want that. Okay, so I want my typewriter something about like that. My tags. Come here. About like that. And then this tag right over here. Then our title. I thought about putting that title on foam, but I think I better not since I've got all this foam coming up underneath it. So let's get our title on there. Love this title, Ginger. You did good. Growing in Grace. That was our Amazing Grace swap, and I got some really, really neat stuff in it. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to do that. And I've got some, these were in my drawer, one of my color drawers, and I kind of thought I might stick some of them, bring that off-white up here. And I could, let's see, maybe something right down here. Let's see what else I've got. Can always cut one of these off if I don't want it quite as long. Maybe something like that, but I could do a little something under there with those if I wanted to. Or not. I'm not liking that. Okay. So let's just go back to our original, maybe that. But I think I may do those two things. Okay. All right, let's get this down. I want those tags about like that. So let's get our foam off of this, and I think it'll stick. Those tags will just stick there, and then I can put some glue under them. Okay, there's that. Let's get a little glue under them. Wrong one. I'm trying to cover that light switch on the wall there. Okay, there's that. Then let's just slide that one right in under there. Like that. Okay, I like that. All right, now let's see if we want to do this. I just kind of liked pulling this off-white up here, but we don't have to if we don't like it. Let's see. Pull this one this way, and this one this way. And then get these. They need to be more slanted. Come loose from there. Nothing like doing battle with a little. Okay, there's that. And then if we can get this one, see if there's one that, let's try this one. See if it wants to behave better. Or try this one here. I'm trying to just find the right combination. And that one there. I like that pretty well. And then these right down here. See if I can, this one's bugging me. Let's see if this one works. Let's try that. And then that. Yes, I like that better. Okay. So let me just turn those around and get a little glue on them and not have to take them out. See if I can just get a little bit of glue on them and stick them down. Or not. Yes, that's coming out. My puppies are growing. I lost another one, so I'm to 13. Had a mama lay on another one with me here, but the problem is, like I said, my mamas weigh like 120 pounds, and those babies weigh, well, they're weighing 2 pounds now, most of them. Not all of them are to 2 pounds. But sometimes even they can't even squeal because that mama it just knocks the breath out of them. And how they don't know that they're on a baby, I don't know, but they don't, as they're good mamas. But I was like, oh, how did that happen? And I actually got it revived. As far as the breathing is concerned, I got it revived, and it was breathing. But the problem was she had injured it inside, that much weight. Just its little guts and everything were messed up. So it died. It breaks my heart when I lose one. I love those babies. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I think I like it. I'm going to leave it like that. So here we are. I think this is the second one that I did. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for dropping by my channel. I hope you have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.